first thing you do, you're going to go to File, New, and from this drop-down menu in your version of Premiere, you will have something called Legacy Title. In mine, it's a separate window, so I'm just going to open it up here. But when you open your Legacy Title, it will still bring you to this window. Now from here, you're going to have to give your titles a name. Every time you make a new title, give it a different name so that you know what each one is. So this one we will call Word. And we click OK. And now this window will open up where you can see whatever your playhead is looking at. If you move your playhead, this image changes as well. This way you can place your titles exactly where you want them to. Your cursor is now a text box, and you're going to click and drag to draw the box that you're going to be typing your text in. Now from there, you'll see you have a little cursor and you can type your word. Now from here, this is where the editing starts. If you don't want your word here at the top of the screen, you can come over here, grab your arrow tool, move it around. You can shrink your text box. Be careful when you shrink your text box. Your letters stay the same size. It's the size of the box that's changing, and by making it too small, you will alter what the text looks like. If you bring your cursor to the right angle, you'll see that it changes, and now we can rotate. So let's drop our text there. Now, all this stuff that I just did, over here in the transform controls, you can do the same thing. You can rotate. You can move it around, up, down, left, right. You can change the size of the box with the text in it. This box here, if you want your text to move, you select that, and now you have the option to roll, crawl left, or crawl right. Once you select an animation, you will also have these options open to you: start off screen, end off screen, and you're going to want to click yes for those. But for now, we're going to keep it as a still text. This option right here, this is the size of your text, larger or smaller. Over here, this drop down, this is your font selector. And once you select a font, down here, this is your style selector. So we can make it bold, we can make it regular, etc. You guys can figure it out however you want it to look. Now, your font style and selector, it's also over here. However you want to do it, bold, bold italic, etc. Okay, all that's over here. Now, up here, these three, you've seen all of these. These are your alignment. So you can left justify, center, or right justify. Here, fill. What color are your letters going to be? If you only want one to be a different color, you have to go back to your type tool, which is this here, and use that to highlight the letters that you want to change the colors of. There you go. Doesn't have to be solid. You can also do a gradient. So let's choose our colors for the gradient. We'll do red and blue. Now, when one letter is selected, it does the gradient across one letter, or you can do the gradient across several letters or the whole word. And you see it'll go across all of them. Now, down here, stroke. Stroke is your outline. I prefer you use the outer strokes. You can click add. Right here is the size of the outline. Down here is the color. So we can change that to any color you want. Again, you can make it a gradient outline. It doesn't have to be a solid color. I don't like that. Let's go with, okay, there we go. And you can also adjust your opacity from where it starts to fade to where the fade ends. You can adjust the angle of the linear gradient. You can adjust the angle of the gradient, blah, blah, blah. Now, shadow. This is your drop shadow. This adds a drop shadow to your text. You can do it on one letter. You can do it on all of them. And again, you can change the colors if you so choose. So let's go with green. And here, the spread, that makes your drop shadow softer. So you see if you lower the spread, your drop shadow has harder lines. You increase it, it's got softer lines. You can increase the size of your drop shadow, etc., etc. And when your text is the way you want it, you simply click the X, and here it is right here.